Hey guys, this is your eclipse reading for all the signs. And what we'll do is we'll do the readings, and then at the end there'll be time for questions. So I'm not sure how to do this exactly. No. All right. Hey, can you hear me? Just want to make sure that everyone can hear me. Hi, small Wi-Fi's. Hey, Seth. Is it loud? Can everyone hear me? Okay, good. All right, so we're going to start with Mercury retrograde. So right now, if you follow my weekly reading from last week, about the technology fail. In Australia, the government tax website completely crashed. Something happened with ANZ where all the FPOS was wiped out. I mentioned that children or the younger generation were going to be doing riots or protests of some sort. And as you can see over in America and other places that they did. Also in Brisbane CBD, there were a lot of protests that stopped people going home from the CBD. So all of this, which I mentioned in the weekly, has been happening. And also any kind of technology, any kind of motor transport, anything to do with contracts, just make sure that you are double checking everything. Make sure that if you're signing up for anything, that you are reading the fine print, because you might find that what you're signing up for today might not be quite what you thought you were signing up for. So what we're going to do is going to start with Aries. So Aries, you are looking at your career, and there is some karma to do with this. When it comes to Aries, I feel like there is willpower and determination has to be in there. You have to bring in some discipline where it comes to your career. And also, if you have a home business, then this is graduating from your home business into somewhere else if you're working on something. In other terms to do with your career, it is the home life balance. So maybe you have all the pressure on you to bring in the money. Maybe your work is impacted by your home and what's been happening there. So let's start off with your tarot card. 3 cards for you. So again, renewal. As soon as you put that discipline into your career, and where you have been dithering, where the willpower has come down, where you are doubtful on how things are going to move forward, you're going to have that second wind now. It's going to come through. And here you go. You've got all that you need for this new start. You'll have offers. You'll have this passion again to force you forward, to be able to help you in what it is that you're working for with your career. Now, there may have been a bit of a hold up in the last few days or even the last week, which has made you think, okay, well, I'm pushing forward with this, but there's something in the way that is making things a lot slower than what I thought that it would be. And that, you're having to relook at something, reorganize something to be able to get that answer. Now, also back to basics. You might be having, this is the 6 of Cups. So this is emotionally going back to what we felt like before. It could also be, I'm working with the younger generation, and so I've been tweaking something to make it expand to more, to be able to get that which I've been working on with this. Also, for some of you Aries, it's about your children. Maybe either you're working with children or it's something to do with children that is bringing in this change. You have Archangel Raphael. So if anything to do with your work and career has got to do with the physical body, or if you work, so if you work for a job that entails your body, you might find that is where there's willpower or there's determination, or whether it's bringing you down with stress and things like that. So hey Maya, so if it's something to do with that, then we have got that determination. You have to have the discipline. You have to have that willpower to carry on in any of those areas. Now, Mercury retrograde is sitting there in the place of your partners, whether this be work or love. This is also looking at the balance of things and your commitment to this. Now we're going to go on to Taurus. Taurus, you are looking at your faith and where this faith means to you, your core values. This is about travel as well. So psychological things below, which is interfering with things. You do have the 4 of Cups. So this is emotional, and this is saying that you're not taking that step. You're not taking what is there offered to you, whether this is a step forward, whether this is help being given to you, or whether this is, okay, well, my faith and core values to do with myself is about my mindset. It's about my communications. It's my perspective. It's how I need to move forward and to do those duties, to have those responsibilities. Now, for some of you, this is about my long-term goals, and am I dithering on that? Am I changing with that? And where my own, if I'm going to be doing some small study, if I'm going to be doing some courses, to be able to help me towards that long-term goal. Now, some of you, this is about relocation, this is about travel, this is about how I expand, my thoughts, my business, whatever it is. And it's the mindset, it's the communication, back and forth communication. You might find that there's delays if this is about travel, delays if this is about relocation or foreign, anything to do with foreign, so visas, immigration, anything to do with that. So that is where you've got that. And Mercury retrograde for you is sitting in the other. So if this is about partners coming in, if this is other people's resources, and even if this is the government. So we've got foreign, we've got travel, we've got communication, we've got back and forth to do with paperwork and things to be able to do that. This is also, if we're talking about Taurus, about our mindset and how things are moving forward, and our perspective has changed. Something to do with this eclipse here has got you feeling like, I don't know if I can do this. Emotionally, I'm sitting in the tree of life here and I'm saying, I don't know which step to take forward. I don't know, my creative ideas of what I thought was going to happen, or even a lack of faith to be able to do this extra study and things like that. So your drawing virtue messages from the angels, Taurus, is... Okay, so don't worry about it. Things aren't going to happen. They are going to happen at the last minute, though. So keep pushing forward. You've got to keep that mindset. You've got to keep that perspective. You've got to be able to use your skills and abilities and have faith in yourself. Have faith in your creative abilities. Have faith in your skills to be able to push forward. And any creative, any marketing, any kind of speech value, anything that you're talking about, you have to have the faith there. And for you, Taurus, it's about other people's money, other people's resources, talking out, looking after the others, being self-sufficient away from others. Those things are back on the table. Now, if you look at Mercury retrograde, a lot of people are feeling that this is a redo from November's retrograde. So what you were dealing with then, it's back on the table. You're discussing it again with the other in your life, or the other person's resources there. Then you've got Melina, which is saying that you're confused. You're one person saying one thing, one person saying another. You're being stretched so widely. And if this is about your education, your career, anything that you're exploring and you need extra skills and studies for, you're feeling like, okay, well, if I incorporate this, I'm stretching myself too much to get that as well. And this is where I'm having this faith, core values issue, where I'm not quite sure how things are going to move forward. So now we're going to go on to Gemini. Now you are looking at, through this eclipse, just at the other in your life, whether this be self-sufficient and no longer relying on government subsidies, no longer relying on a partner, because a partner might have left or you might have left. And so the other in your life is no longer there, or you're having to let go of that reliance on others. And where you are going to be looking at is how you can be self-sufficient, how you can be self-reliant, how you can stand on your own 2 feet emotionally. And where you're letting go is the other in your life. It's also, letting people that have passed to be able to say, okay, well, I'm going to be putting that down and moving forward. If this is about, a marriage or a relationship that's broken down or has broken down, this month here, you're looking at it. You've got Saturn there, you've got the North Node there, and they're all saying, okay, look at the 8th house in your life, the other, the contracts, the investments, people that have passed, anything to do with that. Oh, and also for surgery. Now we're looking at this coming into the full moon eclipse. Okay, things are rising. Things are feeling like they're getting higher, and you don't know what the details are. With an eclipse, there's always a blind spot. You've got one here, you've got the sun and the moon, and they're crossing each other. And so there is a blind spot. You don't know what the information is. So in those regards, you can't really make a decision without any of the information. Okay, so you do have a brand new start, a new title, and this is to do with your physical and your financial health. So, like I said, you're walking away from being reliant on others and you're stepping into what you earn, what you owe, what you own, and you're looking at that. So, if this is about leaving behind one mortgage and buying another, leaving behind a loan, getting another, this is about leaving a partnership or leaving behind grief or whatever it is that you're leaving behind, you're now feeling that you can move forward. And this might come out unexpectedly. So for a lot of people, when this new moon started at the 1st of July, some people felt like they had a boost of positivity come in. And this unexpectedly, where did this come from? I don't know where it's come from, but I'm loving it. So keep bringing it in. The other, this is also a promise of how I'm moving forward. So this is partnerships, love, all work, and my own self. This is also the self-esteem, how my self-esteem is affected as I'm moving forward with this new start. You also might find with the financial here that where you didn't know where the funds were going to come from. So if this was a job or if this is investing or collaborating with somebody else, the details are still up in the air. So again, if you're looking at those contracts, if you're looking at those smaller details, then what you need to do is look at it carefully. What you agree to now, you may not be able to honor later, or the other way around. They may not be able to honor what they've promised you. This is a promise. And so as you're moving forward, you just got to, it's making you feel better. Or for some of you, this is, my self-esteem is a little bit here, moving forward, I'm trying to bring up that self-worth. I'm trying to bring up that self-confidence to be able to take that offer, to be able to move forward. And sometimes when you are no longer reliant on others, stepping on my own 2 feet, emotionally stepping on my own 2 feet to be able to be financially secure, stepping into some kind of partnership, it can be scary. So that could be where this self-esteem thing is coming. You do have the Queen of Cups. Now this is a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, as well as a water sign. And for some of you, this is, like I said, we're leaving a partnership, we're leaving grief, we're leaving contracts, the resources, we're leaving that behind. This card here does mention children. On the throne, we've got children at the top and children down below. So this has got something to do with children and this emotional value we've gone out to sea. And so our brain is a bit foggy on how the details are going to be and what that relationship has to do with children. Being a mother, maybe that's why we had to leave. Maybe that's why there's discussions about this, even if this is child support. So we need to bring ourselves back into our own reality, come out of our mind and be able to move forward. Now, your Doreen Virtue card. Wow, you got a lot. Okay, so we do have children past. This can also be siblings past. Just like I said before, what was on your mind, what is moving forward, letting you know that they are here with you, they love you, and everything's moving forward. And we do have moving house. So like I said, if this is to do with a mortgage and being able to afford this on our own, we're moving in. If this is about leaving a relationship, moving forward, even if it's grief, we're leaving behind that home, those roots, those heritage, and we're now feeling comfortable about moving forward. But again, we don't have the details. So if this is, I want to do this, but I don't know how. So you will have help. Now, Mercury retrograde sitting into the expansion zone. It's also sitting into my faith, my core values, and all of those things as well. So like I said, with the self-esteem, you do have to have faith in yourself. You do have to be able to keep the faith, even when there's difficulty coming up, because you might find that your emotions are overwhelmed right now in this time, in this date coming up, which can last longer than, 2 months. It takes up to, 9 months to be able to get the full details. That might be when you find out, when you get the full details, that you find out, okay, why that happened, how that happened, the full details of exactly, what they are now from what they started in this month. You also have Archangel Gabriel, which is about that conversation. It's about that negotiation. It's about being creative in the way that I can move forward. Maybe you're incorporating faith into that. And Francesca says, over this eclipse here, what is bringing you down, that blackness over your mind, which again, this is, I don't know the details. The details are bringing me down and it's bringing my mood down. And I'm not quite sure how I can come over that. Hi, I am Karma. Karma comes in to shift things, and shifting can be scary, because whenever we are forced to make a decision, whenever we are pushed to make a change, it's very, very scary when it comes down to that part. But you also have to remember, it can help in your favor. Maybe whatever's happened has forced you to take away from others and to go to your own self-reliance. And that is actually a good thing, because now you'll be able to get out of that rut, get out of your mind, be able to get up and get moving. So now we're going to go on to Cancer. Cancer is the idea of fairness. It's the idea of justice. It's the idea of commitment, whether this be love or with work. And this is going to bring about a new start for you, a new title for you. So if this is about relationships that are being left behind, then this won't be something that's sudden. For some of you, it might be my partner's just up and one day said, okay, I don't know, I don't want to be here anymore, blah, 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 or you yourself. So that will be your title, is that you leave behind that partnership, whether it be love or marriage, and you're moving forward now on your own step, because your North Node is in your first house. So this is new start, new fresh ideas, new perspective. How the world sees me is now going to be different, because whatever partnership that is leaving now, I am now on my own. I am now number one. Now, for some of you, this is about how my partner is affecting my reputation. It's not just me, it's we, and how that incorporates how I look. So, if there's been, just for example, if I'm out, at my work function and my partner's come along and they've, embarrassed me, or they've gotten drunk, or whatever it is. So that's affecting your reputation. It's affecting your title. It's affecting how you've been seen. You also have Mercury retrograde in your 10th house. So we are discussing our finances. We are discussing our mortgages. We are discussing our career again. And this is back on the table, perhaps from November, moving forward again. Now, you do have the 9 of Swords. Now, the 9 of Swords is about two things. First of all, what is keeping me awake at night? What thoughts is stopping me from being able to sleep? For some of you, this is a making of your, my paranoia, my own thoughts. I worry too much. I think of the worst case scenarios, and I'm unable to be able to sleep and put my mind to rest. And so this is where I'm having that feeling now with this commitment. I'm so worried about what it's going to look like. I'm so worried, am I making the right decision? Can I do it alone? Can I move forward? So for some of you, this is to do with my career. I've got a new title coming up. And so now I have to leave behind what I've always been doing, that commitment that I have there. And I'm stepping into this new title. I'm stepping into my own sunshine. And, I'm worried. Can I do it? Have I committed to too much that I'm worried? What are you worried about? The details aren't going to be known. Maybe you feel like I want to have this change, but I'm not quite sure if I've got it yet. I'm not quite sure what the details are. And, if this is about a partnership, whether it be love or work, it's about, I don't know where this has come from. I don't know where it's going. I don't know what those details are. So your Drawing Virtue messages from the angels is 2 cards. So your loved one is letting you know that they are there with you through this transition. And again, Cancer, this is about you. The new moon was in Cancer. This one tomorrow or tonight is in Capricorn. And so this is about a real fate change for you. This is a crossroads decision. This is, I am making this massive change, this milestone, and it's difficult to be able to leave behind that commitment. This unfairness, this injustice, this is now going to be changed, because you are in the title of 1. So wherever that 7 is, that partnership, that legalities, again, legalities, where the 10th house is my courts, it's my judgment, and then the 7th house is legalities, it's the unfairness, it's the justice, but you do have 1, so you're moving into that. Vanessa says you've actually got to look at your own decisions. You've got to think about what way brings you closer. Now, if this is taken away in a negative way, then you have to think to yourself, okay, what's best for me? Okay, I need to make it fair for me. I need to follow what's good for me, what prosperity I need, and that's the decision that I need to make. Even if I don't have the details, I can't work from fear. I absolutely have to be able to push forward and be strong with that, be empowered with that, because this is the moment in my life where karma's saying, okay, well, you couldn't make the decision yourself. You needed that opportunity. You needed that push, and I'm going to bring that to you. You're going to have to be disciplined. You're going to have a You're going to have a purpose and a plan, and also plan A, B, and C because of Mercury. But you've also, so if this is about career, you might find that there's delays and that there's more on there. So if you signed a contract and you're starting now, you might find, hang on a minute, the duties are a little bit more than what I thought. The role itself is more than I thought. And so I don't know if I can actually do that. So now we're going on to Cancer. Cancer, it's your health and it's your work. It's also the duty that you do for others. So if you're looking after someone, there is going to be a change here, whether there's more nurses, whether they go into a home, whether there's some sort of ending of some sort. Your duty and service to others, we are looking at that. And maybe there's a fresh wave of perspective here. And so what you're leaving behind, what is being taken from you, where this milestone and crossroads decision is that there has to be an end here. Now, for some of you, this is, okay, well, the person I was looking after before, there's been some change there, and I'm moving on forward now. My day has changed because I'm no longer looking after that person, or I'm no longer doing as much. And so my service and duty to others, what about that now needs to change? Maybe I need to focus more on myself. Maybe I need to get another job now. Now, in terms of your health, things are coming to an end there. So if you do have on this moon, this eclipse, a health issue come to a full come full circle, making so there's some sort of crisis, some sort of bringing forward this idea to do with our health, again with our duty as well. Something's bringing up all the emotions, all the tensions rising. You want to say, you want to do, you want to act, but you do have to remember that this is an eclipse. You don't have all the details, and you may regret what you say or do in a week, in a month, 6 weeks' time, whatever it is there. So in terms of our work, there is going to be a change there. There is going to be joining different groups, networking, people that help you up there. So some of these things might be, okay, well, I was part of this organization to do with whatever, and I'm kicked out, or the group's closed, or I'm moving on from there, because you do have Mercury retrograde back in your 11th house. And this is about social networking. This is about groups. This is about climbing that social ladder. This is about the group social networking that can help me, even if it's just social, that is going to help you there. Again, with your health, there is going to be a change there. There is going to be an ending there. Maybe you need to make some big changes in your life, and you hadn't thought about that before, but, well, maybe you did know, and you needed this push to be able to make those changes. You do have the Judgment here. The Judgment is a major arcana card on this major karma, Leo, and you had the last 2 years of karma, which was really about you coming out from being under a cloud, underneath somebody else's pressure, underneath the mushroom effect, where you weren't shining in your own light. You were doing what you were told. You were afraid to speak up. You needed your voice. You needed your roar. And as we finish that last year and we're going into this, it's more independence. It's more about me. It's about pushing myself forward into a way that I feel stronger about myself. And as we're going into this eclipse, it's your work, it's your duty, it's your health. And there is an ending there, whether it's something that you were planning, if it was something that came out of the blue, if it was forced on you. This ending is there for a reason, and Judgment is here. You reap what you sow. But this is blowing your own trumpet. You have children and adults of all ages here celebrating with you. You might find that there's been a change and a transformation in you through this ending or through this eclipse, and it may not show up straight away. Maybe you don't know why. Maybe you don't have the details. Maybe it was unexpected. Whatever those things are for you, that's where the changes are. So again, we're looking at our organizations again. Mercury retrograde's bringing that right up all the way to August the 14th, shadow period. You might find that the last 2 weeks, the last week of July and the first 2 weeks of August, where this is really going to be impacting you, is this group situation where you can have that help from others. Don't be afraid to accept help, especially if this is to do with a health issue for you. Then those organizations, any kind of networking is going to be able to help you. Now, some of this is about children. Am I pregnant? Yes. Pregnant? Yes. If this is about my work, because we're talking about health. So if I am pregnant, I'm pregnant. Yes, I am. If this is about delivering a baby, if this is, so I'm starting the process, should I have fertility and, the pregnancy being delivered? Yes is the answer, to do with those babies as well. Now, this is also about fresh new starts, fresh new seeds and things like that. So if you were caring for a family member, something about that's changing. If this is about your health, something about that is changing. This could be about any of the reproductive area for those. And you've got a yes if this is about work, if this is about joining the group. Will this group help me? Will that organization? So again, organizations that help you funding wise or rehabilitation wise to do with your health and again with your finances, you have a big fat yes. So now we're going to go into Virgo. Virgo, it's all about your children. Where? Again, this eclipse is about 1981, if you're old enough, 2000. And for some of you, it's about 2008. So where in that time were you making decisions, purchasing something, dating someone, siblings, any of that area? Where is that coming to a conclusion? Where is the children or the dating or the siblings or the projects even in your life? How is that impacting you on this eclipse? Because that's what you're looking at. Now, if this is about a dating life, this, for some of you, if you're single, this is about getting out to groups, going to meet up, getting online for online dating, whatever that is, or even meeting someone through friends. If this is someone brand new, be careful that who you are dating. Also, if you are dating someone and you didn't know that they had children, or that this is complicated because I didn't know that I had them. It's complicated because there's an issue there. It's complicated with my dating because I don't want to have children. If this is a new dating, then this is about, I don't know all the details about this person that I've just met. That can be in a good way or that can be in a bad way. So, if this is about that first impression and I didn't get a great impression on this person when I first met them, then this is saying, well, there could be more to this person than you thought, in a negative or a positive way. Yeah, we've got children again and dating. So this person here could be lying to you. This person can be very tricky. This person can be very selfish. And maybe that's what's coming up in this moon. You find out that there's been some lies. You find out that there's been some infidelity. You found out this person had children or didn't want children, that there's a child in some way where this is coming forward, Virgo. If you already have children, there could be disagreements with them because they are selfish, because they're irresponsible, because they want all the resources, because they're not helping. And it's all about me, whether it be you or whether it be the other. So if you have children born in any of those times, here at this time, again, if we're discussing children again, if this is something that we were going to have children but we put it on the back burner, or if you did have children, how's this coming? Now, it doesn't have to be your children, it's children around you. So if you teach children or your nieces, your nephews, that kind of thing as well, they are going to be your focus now around this moon. Now, again, we've got groups here that are going to help you, whether it be Facebook groups, social networking, people that, so for some of you, this could be, so just an example, I'm looking to adopt a child, I've joined this agency, and then you find out that this child didn't come from the area that it said it was, that the child's no longer up for adoption, that kind of thing. So something to do with children, something to do with groups, and I don't have all the details. And, be careful what you're doing this month, because, what you're getting is not what you thought. So this is also about the wrong information. This is also about tricky and selfish behavior. This person, he has everything. These two people are walking away and they've just dropped it. So this person thinks, this person is manipulative, this person can even be narcissistic. And if this is someone that you're dating, newly dating, or this is, infidelity's come up and I'm deciding, and if this is to do with your karma, then it's, how has this impacted you before? Is the eclipse is saying to you, well, are you going to end this now? Are you going to keep going on that roller coaster? Are you going to keep doing this over and over again? What needs to stop? What have you learned? What do you need to sit back and be detached about? Because this is where those changes are going to be. And again, Mercury retrogrades in the 12th house. That's the things that are secret behind closed doors, including sex in their bedroom. It's also secrets from below. So there's definitely secrets coming out in any area to do with children, projects, even sports for some of you, and dating, obviously. So there are secrets coming out, and it could be all the way back there that you weren't aware. And then suddenly now you hear some information from your siblings to do with home. And you're like, well, why didn't you tell me? Something to do with an ex-partner. Why didn't you tell me? These information, the secrets, these things are coming out. Now, also, this is the psychological. So if anyone's lost a child for whatever reason, you're going to be thinking about them at the moment, because you are looking at the 12th house. So that's everything below the surface that might be popping up again. And this is where you've got to learn that detachment, where you're going to have to put things down. Do you know what? You get the exact same cards as the one before. You've got a big fat yes, and you do have the children card. So if this is about, I finally was able to get pregnant, 11, which is about infertility, the organizations, the adoption, the younger generation, and whatever, where every area that it is, pregnancy, children, delivery, big fat yes. So do watch the signs before. I think it was just the sign I just had, but do check that. Oh, and if anyone can put the timestamps in, that would be lovely, just so that people can go straight to their signs if they want to. In terms of dating, is this fruitful? Yes, it is. Is it worth me putting my time and energy? Yes, it is. Do I need a fresh start? Just like I said, what I'm leaving behind, I'm starting a brand new cycle, because this card is about brand new cycles and how I'm moving on to the next life cycle, and how this is going to impact me. And then you've got the big fat yes card. So now we're going on to Libra. What is it about your home, your property, your residence? What is it about your what you grew up with, your self-belief systems? Because something about that's going to be emotionally brought up. And, maybe you didn't know the details. Maybe the details are coming up. Maybe whatever's happening with your home. So if this is flatmates, if this is the people that I live with, or something that's happening in the actual family, it's like, okay, well, I didn't see that coming. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know where this has come from. So those details are, I don't know. Now, in terms of buying a house, or renting, leasing a house, you're moving, you're wanting to get your own, and you do have that luck where it is, okay, I've got the finance to do with that. Now, some of you, this is relocating because of your job. For others, this doesn't. The 10th house also is about your parents. So, for some of you, this is about, something to do with your parents and this, what your self-belief systems, maybe you're leaving that behind. But you do have to sit back and be detached about this. You do have to now have a strategy and a plan, and you do have to be able to move forward now, because this is Saturn. It's saying to you, and the North Node, it's coming up in your home and saying, what about that needs to change? Because that's your karma. What have you finished with, to do with your self-belief system, to do with your childhood, to do with the family, to do with your own property? Are you getting a mortgage and moving in? Because Mercury is looking at, I've got a brand new start, a brand new title, a brand new move. And this is new for me. And 10 is I've got the finances, I've got the career, and I'm doing it on my own. So your home, the finances, and you, again, if this is talking about the 10th house, which is my career, my ambition, and is my ambitious idea of owning my own home or moving out on my own? Or is this about my job is actually getting me to relocate? Something about, if this is, I've got a home-owned business and I'm now taking it out of my home, I'm now moving forward. But there will have to be a forced decision right now, and again, the details aren't going to be there. So if you're frightened about these things, do know that Mercury retrograde is there with the one. This is, again, could have been discussions back in November, and through it, you are going to be new. You are going to have a new perspective. You are going to have a new mindset, and how the world sees you is going to be different. In fact, it can also be, I thought the world saw me in one way, to do with my career. And I realise now, in the respect and the principle way, I feel like that's got something to do with it as well. I realise through what's happening now emotionally that maybe people I don't come across to people as I thought that I did. And so something here is going to make me change, because I am moving into a one here, including title. So again, if we're buying a house, if we're selling a house, we're getting a new one. Okay, so your card for Libra is The Devil card. So we are leaving behind abusive situations. We're leaving behind that which chained us in these self-belief systems. We're leaving behind, if this is you in your relationship that you're dating or that you are with your partner, your self-belief systems, like I said, what you grew up thinking. If this is about how your parents were when you were growing up and you've taken on those things, this is bad habits and I'm leaving them behind. So any kind of addictions, any kind of self-sabotage, especially to do with our career and our finances and all those sorts of things. Do you get in your own way? I am at work, I do really well, or I'm progressing, and then all of a sudden I get this fear, or I get cocky, or my ego takes over, and then something happens, and then bam, I'm back down again. So this is a major arcana card, major crossroads. This is that major change. But with the fourth house being there, this is about, okay, well, what have I grown up with? What is my belief system? I'm putting that down. I'm being forced to put that down because I can't do this anymore. And if this is if this is your home, so me and my partner, or me and my flatmates, me and my property, if I'm selling a home and I'm moving into one, where is this bad behavior? Where is this, I feel chained to this area? For some of you, it's my parents. My parents have always made me feel like I am tied to them, like that I'm obligated to be, maybe it's this one where I've always tried to make my parents proud of me, and nothing I do is ever good enough. And this has really overshadowed this change that I'm making, because I'm moving into this new step, or whatever this has happened is forcing me to understand, you know what? On this eclipse, I've realized that there is nothing that I can possibly do, and I just have to put that down. I just have to do this for me. I can't do this for approval from other people. I just have to do this for me. So again, if we're selling a house, could this be to do with, I haven't paid my money? This is bad spending. This is bad habits. This is abuse. This is trauma. This is narcissism. This is getting in my way, all of those things. Now, your Drawing Virtue messages from the angels, Libra, is... Oceana. Now, this is about, we've got the shark here, which is rising above what we fear. This can be psychological, like I said. You stand in your own way. Your self-belief systems are something you've always grown up with, and now you're realizing that the cycle has been continuing, and I just can't do that anymore. I have to make this change, especially if this is, okay, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict, I keep dating people that are not available, my spending habits, all of those different things. I am forced now. I have to make a decision. And also, I feel like I'm not good enough. And so something through this, because you do have the one, is I have to rise above what my fears are. I have to leave that behind. And so for some of you, I've been drowning underneath this obligation. I've been drowning underneath all this worry. I've been drowning underneath all this daydreaming, all of these thoughts that have been going on. And also, this is about swimming in a place of a psychological shift. So, for example, I take drugs, so I'm numbed to what's going around. So the drinking as well. My thoughts are, my consciousness is altered through whatever addiction this is. Or I wasn't aware that I had this cycle until it's happened again, and I'm like, why is this always happening to me? This card is also saying to take action. So take action now, but do be careful of what action you're taking, because I don't want you to be making a decision and then in 4 or 5 days regretting it. Although after saying that, in my life in August 2016, even though I told everyone not to do it, I actually did it myself. And first time in my life, I stood up for myself and went, absolutely not. And then the response that I got made me think, oh my God, did I make a massive mistake? Maybe I jumped the gun. What am I doing wrong? And then I was upset for a little while. And then, 5-6 months later, I looked back at that period and went, oh my God, that was the best decision I ever made. But in the immediate, because of the reaction I got, I thought, oh my God, I've blown it. I've made such a bad decision. But what I left behind was exactly what I needed to leave behind. So you do have the Empress card, which is I'm starting new. I have all the resources that I need. I do have the backing. I do have the funding. We have the wheat here, which is about I'm banking. I'm reaping what I sow. I have something to work on. This is a major arcana card. Now, again, this could be about This is about the family. It is about children. So I have now got this and I'm moving forward. I'm very comfortable with it all. There's also Venus here, which is about the self-worth. It is about finances. It is about tricky situations and partnerships. You've got 3 great cards here. This one says go for it. This one says quit progress. This one, again, we've got Mercury retrograde. So this will go right up to August the 14th. This is a fire sign, Libra, which is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Again, Leo is our children, it's our family, it's our siblings. So this card's saying go for it. This is the right time. This is quick progress. In dating, go for it. Children, go for it. This is also about relocation in some way. It's about moving forward in quite a quick pace. Then you've got the offer. You've got the material, practical things in your hand, divine intervention to take you on that path to where you want to go. So whatever happens on this eclipse, if you feel forced, if you feel like your control's being taken away, realize that this is taking you further to what your dream was. Even if you're not aware of what it is exactly, I don't know which way I want to go, you will find that this is actually pushing you towards where you wanted to go. And this divine intervention, this blessing, this offer, this help that's been given to you, oh, please help me, please help me, please help me, you say to the angels, and then like, well, it's right there. Take that option. It's right there. So take it. And then this card says you're on to a winner. Major crossroads. So again, like if this is about buying a property and being your first time owning one, or on your own, or your new role, or even being a new parent, whatever it is for you that's around the home, which is about you and your money and your career, and then being in one you're new, this is hitting bank. This is something that's worthwhile. So now we're going to go on to Scorpio. Now your mindset, your perspective, it needs to change, and something this week, this eclipse is going to make that happen. It's also about your community and your home duties and those in your neighborhood. This is where you are putting down that mindset to do with that. This is where you are making a change. This is also, maybe this Saturn is saying to you, okay, well, maybe you need to work on your speaking abilities. Maybe you need to work on be more creative, work more on your skills to be able to move forward. So you've got good luck, good karma in the house of 9, which is having faith in yourself. But it's also about expansion. It's also about travel. It's also about foreign people, foreign countries, foreign culture. Maybe this whole idea of my mindset, my perspective that I have to put down, that I have to move away from, because 9 is also education, and the 3rd house is more education. 9th house is my dreams, where I'm moving forward in my long-term goals. So something about the small has to go for it, so I can get the big. And whatever it is that you have tossed aside or having to put down, that mindset, that perspective has to happen. So if this is a sudden split, a sudden wipe, a sudden, so if you're doing a course and suddenly you don't know why, but they've cancelled it. If this is about, okay, well, something in my neighborhood, suddenly it's gone. Because you do have the house card. This is about relocation. This is moving. This is getting away from my local community, getting away from my stresses, what's keeping me down. And as I do that, I am full of this energy. I'm feeling so much better now that this has happened. And this move is going to bring in this new energy, this new flow. So whatever it is for you with that. The other card you got is Melina. Now, don't forget that you have this is also about your energy, your transformation, the way that you think, the way that you're creative, everything to do with what's local and small to you. Something there has to go. It has to change. And as you leave that behind, that new energy is going to be there, which actually might get you thinking, what do I want to do in the future? Where do I want to expand? What is it about the outside world that I want to move towards? I want to have more people. I want to reach more people. So if I'm working in front of the camera, behind the scenes, and anything creative or marketing or transport, anything to do with that, I want to reach a further audience, or a larger demographic, or a larger area, I want to go nationwide, countrywide, all of those things. So I have to put down the small so that I can go towards the big. And here you're just humming and hawing, well, how can I do that? What is the step? What do I need to do to be able to do that? Because this is saying I need more research. I need to talk to an expert. I need to talk to someone who has the experience, who has done this before. The small details there. Maybe it's your local MP. Maybe it's the local university. Maybe it's someone in the community that can help you. If this is about your mindset and perspective, maybe you're going to experience something through this overwhelming urge to emotional urge to do something, and you're like, well, I don't know how. I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know why things have to change. I was working towards something, and now it doesn't look like it's going to go through. So now I have to start all over again, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, and I don't know where I'm going to get this help from, Scorpio. There is collaboration, there is partnership, and this is all down to your self-worth as well. So Mercury retrograde's bringing that up for you. Now, this card says, do more research, seek an expert advice before making a decision, and you are pulled. You're pulled in 4 different directions. So I don't know this, I don't know that. This is pulling me in that direction, and I just don't know if I've got all the energy all the time, or if this is too small for me. I don't know, because I feel like I'm stretched in all different ways. So maybe what I need to do is, maybe it's just too hard to try and do all of this technology, all of this on my own. So if I just speak to an expert, they can do it in 3 hours, where it's taken me, an entire week to do it. So putting that down, getting someone to help you, looking, researching, talking to an expert to be able to go towards what your highest dream is, to be able to have faith in yourself, to be able to incorporate other people's ideas for you to be able to move towards that. Now we're going to go to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this whole idea of your finances, what you earn, what you owe, and your salary, how is that tied up to do with your money that you earn? And with your partnerships as well. Do you have, you are in partnerships and you end up doing it all. You're in a partnership and the other person takes advantage. The commitment that you have with other people, this brings your self-worth down. Something to do with that is your karma, this month. And it's also about, maybe, because the second house is about self-reliance. It's about standing on your own 2 feet emotionally. It's about, so maybe that's what this is. This is, okay, I have to leave that dependence down, because you are looking at the 8th house as well. So this is contracts. This is investments. This is, the other in life, other people's resources. So maybe for some of you that you need help, or you haven't accepted help in any of those areas, some of it's to do with your self-esteem. Some of it's to do with, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if my mindset's where this is, the self-belief systems, because this is karma. So this has come back from before. Again, do look at 2000 and 2008. And if you're old enough, 1981, that will have something to do what you were doing then, what you were experiencing then, the same kind of deja vu. Something about that is going to be around this karma, what you're dealing with, what you're looking at, what you have to sit back and be detached about, and how you have to let that go. So this is where your partnerships, your finances, your job, your value system, your principles, the partner in your life, we're looking at that, and something about that is that we have to go. We have to put that down. It could be taken away from us, or that finally we've had enough and we have to end that and move forward. And then looking at other people's resources to help you with that contracts. Now, for some of you, this is surgery, and this is also transformation. This is the Sagittarius, this is Scorpio. So this is about the death. This is about deadly, serious things in life. And this is a major time for that. So that's where you're dealing with things, but you have to put down, those tricky situations, those partnerships, that self-reliance. Something about that has to change. Maybe you're a perfectionist and you have to accept the help, but you begrudgingly keep moving forward because you can't trust anybody else to do it because no one does it like you. And some of that has to go down. And the self-esteem, the self-worth issues, they do have to go down. Now, your card is Yeah. So it could be about your how you grew up. It could be about your children, because this is the Five of Pentacles. So this is our finances, and this is to do with our health. This is about mobility. So if you feel alone, and anything to do with your health, which is about mobility, which is about moving forward with any kind of being stuck, you're going to find, because this person's heavily reliant on crutches, they feel alone, they feel shut out, they feel like no one's giving them the time of day, no one's, even, okay, well, are you okay? Or that must be hard for you. There's no empathy, there's no compassion, and you're feeling that way. And there's this door here where you can actually go in. You're feeling low, you're feeling unloved, you're feeling unappreciated. The 5 is about siblings and family and children, even dating. So again, we're going back to the second house. This is dating. This is, okay, well, this person's let me down. This person's just gone cold on me. This person has let me down, and I'm disappointed in dating or partnerships, whatever it is. Even, my social, people are just letting me down, and I feel ignored. I feel like, for some of you, I feel like a loser. I can't believe this has happened to me again. So this is about, if this is about illness and physical mobility, then there is help there. You have to go and ask the organizations, the government, if this is about surgery, there is going to be help there. You do need to communicate. You do need to negotiate. You do need to look to your local community and local networks for that as well, because you might find if you're having an operation and or you need an operation and your health and things are so slow, and you're like, I don't have the money, or I don't know how I'm going to look after myself, or any of those things, go to the government, go to the local community and see, because there will be help there. There is going to be help there, and through this you are going to transform. Again, if this is dating and this is any kind of collaboration where you rely on other people, there is help there. And there's deadly serious agreements. This is karma saying, okay, I absolutely have to put that down. 2 cards. Oh my god, I keep getting this. So if this is sun, moon, and rising, I think it was Cancer and Leo, we have the yes card for children and for fresh starts, and we have the big fat yes card, and we have looking into more. So if this is about health, like I said before, there is a specialist, there is a yes, and there is growth on this. So things will improve, things will start fresh. This is birth. This is I'm giving birth to new energy. I'm giving birth to this new cycle. And like I said, if it's about mobility, if it is about illness, if it is about it also could be viruses, could be something small. And this has taught you a lesson. This has taught you, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I do need to ask for help. So a huge change there. Maybe for some of you, this is, okay, I'm having a time of depression. And, if I ask, will they help? Well, the answer is yes. The seeds that you put down now are going to reap what they sow. So again, if this is about babies and pregnancy, yes, that's going to happen. Oh, again, so if this is dating, things have gone cold. Whatever the question is that you're asking, the answer is yes, and the fruits of your labor. And then, of course, you've got expert help. Look to the expert, do the research, go online, have a look to all the areas, and this is where you're going to find that this will really improve your self-esteem and the help that you receive. So now we're going on to Capricorn, just asking, did I forget any of the signs? Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. Did I miss any? All right, so now we're going on to Capricorn. So some of you are leaving behind the me and going into the we. And as you're doing that, you're going to find that the idea of partnerships, the idea of legalities, the idea of fairness and injustice, the imbalance, there is something about that coming up on this eclipse, definitely. And what you're leaving behind is your place in the world, how people see you, how you see everybody else, and your perspective on how others see you, and leaving a title behind. But you do have that commitment. And 7 can also be my enemy. So has an enemy in the family, because you've also got Mercury retrograde in the 4th house as well. Anything to do with legality. So if someone in your family, any kind of, any kind of legalities to do with the home, to do with the family, just a court system, to do with family, to do with depositions, anything like that. There is going to be news on that, and it is going to be, well, I didn't know that. So there could be information that comes out of the blue. There can be a statement said, and you're like, well, where did that come from? We need to wait for more information. So there could be an adjournment or anything like that. So we are leaving. Oh, and there's a standstill. Major Arcana card, which says, okay, well, we have to turn things on their head to be able to look at things from different angles. Why am I stuck where I am? And the harder I try, the worse this is getting. The harder I try, the more I feel stuck. And this is still, but there is relief coming. There is news coming. There is going to be a way to untangle yourself from this situation. But the information is not going to be forthright straight away. So any steps that you make in a way that your title, your position, who you are, and even, for some of you, this is about your face. It's the publicity, how people actually see you. Even your ego needs to go down, because anything to do with this and how the world sees you and your title and in your perspective, anything to do with that, it's taken away. It's going, and you have to put it down or it's taken from you. There is the idea of someone on the other side, part of your team, the people committed to being there for you, some sort of unfairness, some sort of injustice, some sort of imbalances here, and that might be making those emotions rise. This card says things have come to a stall. Things have come to, so again, work or love. Things have come to a stall. Maybe if this is to do with a court case, there's been an injunction or there's been something that has frozen the assets or frozen or stopped. So there's a delay or there's an adjournment, or so if this is to do with your career, something there is you need to look. Things can't progress any further in this commitment, in this fairness, in this balance. They can't keep moving forward because the information is not there. So I feel like I'm struggling swimming upstream. So this card is saying that maybe this is about having levity over what it is that you do. And you also have the 7 here as well. This is taking a time out. Like I said, things are stalling. This is about commitment. This is about my partner, love, or work. And we're looking at the finances. We're looking at this divide. We're looking at like dividing our assets. We're looking at the imbalance to do with the practical, tangible, and the finances here. And we're saying, all right, well, what's next? What can I do about this? So again, if we're talking about legalities and how this is divided and how this is moving, there is going to be a stall. There is going to be some change, and you're going to have to flip it to be able to see how to get through. Now you're drawing virtue messages from the angels, Capricorn. Don't forget, this is all about you. For some of you, this is about my home. Maybe I am selling my house. Maybe I'm looking at committing into buying a house with someone else, because you're leaving you're letting go of the me and you're going into the we, and there is support there for that. There is commitment. Wow, you got a lot of cards. Well, it is all about you, Capricorn. So you are at the end of the cycle. This is about your home. This is about your family. This is about the hierarchy, the change, and you do have the piece coming forward. You have new spring in your step. So as this continues, which you will see that this is actually going to work in your favor, because once this is done, once things have been decided, which they won't until or after August the 14th. So if it looks like things are going really great, do expect that there will be some sort of change, some sort of delay. Do check the fine print. There is something there that does need to be acknowledged or looked at. So again, we are moving forward. There is going to be a fresh more way. Okay, we're in the family way. We're looking at, or even at work, this is something we've worked passionately on that started and now we're coming to an end. It's very much like the World card, where there is a natural end to that. There is some pride there is some hard work there. We're coming to the end of that. Now, this is about families as well, like I said. So anything to do with legalities, anything to do with issues in the family. Maybe there's someone in the family that's trying to take everything. So what we're doing, Capricorn, is that we're just trying to sort things out quietly. Things are going to come to an end. Maybe you've got, maybe you're no longer, so if you are giving birth, maybe you're a grandparent, maybe you're a parent. We're the second generation, because like I said, this is about new, so a new birth, family, and peace coming forward. So if it's about that, so end of a cycle now. Rochelle says you have to make your decision. Now, this is with air signs, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. You have to make your decision. And I know it can be tough, especially going against the self-belief systems, which is reoccurring again, because we were looking at this in November. There is going to be a major change here for you, Capricorn, because it's all about you. And so it is affecting you, and it is a major moment, and it is a major milestone. And this is something that's changing forever. So as it does that, you have to make the decision. And when you do that, you have to, because this is about equality and unfairness and all those things to do with, my self-belief systems, my root, my home, my heritage, my property, the people that I live with. Something there is unfair. Something there needs to be leveled out. Something there, the balance needs to shift. And the decision that you make, whether it's to just sit down and say, you know what, I'm not playing, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm just going to do what's good for me, and you'll find prosperity comes there. And then you got Indra, which says that, you have to, something you say is going to touch somebody else. If this is about your family or your partnerships, what you say is relevant, and it's going to change somebody else's idea as well. So now we're going on to Aquarius. Aquarius, this is about your home. This is about, the things you do at home if you're not working. This is to do with your job, and this is to do with your health. Now, first of all, I want to say, Aquarius, how is your body affecting what your day looks like, how you look after others, and how you do your work? Because the mind, body, and the soul all work connected. So if your mental health is off, if your emotional health is off, if you don't look after your body, and even if your work, you have to use your body to do that, then you might find that is affecting your work. And also, if this is about your job, this is about, okay, I'm starting a new project. I'm excited about this new job, because you're letting things go. So, for example, the idea of, there's many Aquarians that have looked after someone, and the duty and, home duties and those kinds of things. And there's an end there. So I don't need to be in that role anymore. I don't need to keep being part of this. So maybe I'm going to get out of that and go into a new role, because things from the past, the 12th house is also on the close to the fade, just like the 8th house is. It's secrets behind closed doors. So again, we're looking at if we're dating or even with our children, secrets are coming out. Maybe you see something without snooping. Maybe you doing the washing and you find something in your children's pocket and you're like, I didn't know that. Again, we're looking at year 2000 and year 2008 to do, and 1981 if you're old enough, to do with the karma, but Mercury retrograde from November. So you might find something to do with your children or your dating. So maybe you're having a date with someone and they've gone off and their phone, a text message comes in and you're not snooping. You just hear click, click, and you look down and you're like, okay, well, that doesn't look normal. That looks like they're cheating. That looks like they have obligations. That's a bit. So, things like that. There could be a secret. There could be information that comes out, and you're like, well, I don't know where that came from. I don't know why. I don't know what the details are. So I'm feeling emotional about my health, my work, and about my dating, and how that's incorporated together, and how you have to stop what you've always done in those areas, because the 12th house is, okay, well, I have to stop. Now, if this is about gains on a project to do with your work, what you're doing, so maybe work with the younger generation in community or teaching or nursing or whatever it is that you do. If this is about children, this is about, okay, well, I'm getting that passive income, I'm getting those gains. There also could be an outlay that you weren't expecting. So, for example, if you do have children, then, something happens and suddenly you have to pay all this money. If this is about your job, working with children, or a project working for the children, okay, so there's been an issue and suddenly now I need more funds to get there. This is about my insecurities from my childhood, even with my family. This is affecting my health, which is affecting my work. Okay, so our cards. Okay, so there's a judgment here. There's definitely a judgment here, something to celebrate. So yourself with your work, yourself with your health, yourself with your dating, or with your children. There's something here to blow your trumpet about. So if that secret came out, or the information that you saw that came out, if it's in a positive way, it will work in your favor. Also, if this is someone that your family didn't like, and so there has been some sort of separation or some sort of time apart, they could be turning up out of the blue. If this is a family member or sibling that you haven't heard from, or even a workmate, someone you used to work on a project with, suddenly they're back in your life again, and having good times, those kinds of things. Now we do have the 8th house, so this is contracts. This is so we're talking about our health and our work here. This is about, okay, well, I've done really well to get to this point, but I have to head down. I have to keep working on my skills. I have to keep tuning out more, because this is only going to help me grow more and earn more and do more. If this is in terms of our health, then 8 is surgery. It's also transformation. So I keep doing what I'm doing, and any kind of trauma. Again, the 12th house is everything that's below, and we're talking about bringing that trauma out. This is the 8th house is trauma. It is operations. It is transformation. It is that phoenix rising from the ashes. So whatever you're putting down, whatever you're working on that's below the surface, anything to do with that is actually bringing you forward in your progress. There's progress made. You've got quick movement forward. So again, with our health, once we get seen, once we have that surgery, once we have what it is that we need, quick progress. Again, if this is good news about our work, some acknowledgement from our boss, some really good news. Like I said, really good news at the start of the month, some really good signs that things are going to be a lot better in our work, that there's more finance coming, that my health is going to be better on my projects, or even with siblings or dating as well. Things look really good. And the more I work on that, the better it's going to be. And there's quick progress forward with your work as well. Now, we do have the 7th house. Now, this is cups. This is how I'm emotionally. And it's been foggy. You haven't been able to decide about this, okay? So this is, okay, well, if this dithering about my job, or, how my job is affecting me, maybe I've had enough of what I'm doing. My job is affecting my emotional and physical health so much that, I have to move out of that, but I'm dithering because I don't know what I'm going to commit with. And dating as well, and with our health. There's so much going on here. I can't pinpoint where it is. And so I can't be clear, but this is also saying keep the faith. This is also saying there is luck, there is growth there. And so emotionally, you've got to commit to what it is. This is emotional, feeling self-worth, feeling like I can move forward, all of those things. Now, there is some sort of process, legal process, some kind of expert. This is a major arcana card. Again, it is 5. So this is, again, dating. So some of you might be moving in together. Some of you might be meeting someone at work, maybe at a formal function. But to do with work, there's a process. So maybe you've been doing some training, or you have to do some training. And so you now get the license. You now get that formal yes to be able to move forward. Again, if we're talking about things that are below the surface, there's some kind of faith here where we go through this formal to be able to go through that. And again, if this is about our health, we are going to see the specialist. We are going to have that luck and that progress forward. Now we're going on to Pisces. Pisces, you are our Aquarius has our Enduring Virtue card. Hi, Laura. Yes, Aquarians have been suffering a little bit before 2018. It's been the end of 2016, a lot of Aquarians. That's where our karma started to come in at the end, after that big eclipse in August. All of 2017, major changes, our work, our day, even our family, things, and some of us, it was our relationships. That part of our life completely changed forever. And so all of last year was about recovering from those big changes. And now we're finally on the up and moving forward. Okay, so this is a change in home. This is a change in work. this is going to bring new energy. So if you can commit to what it is that you want and listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, look about what is frightening you about taking that decision and moving forward, because once you make that change, for example, looking at 2000 and 2008, 1981, if you're old enough, where was that cycle in you, with you, that is now coming back again? So for example, I bought my house in 2000, end of 2007, going into 2008, and I'm looking at selling, but I can't leave my house behind yet because of my son. You know, he died in this house, and, you know, everything about that. So I am going to sell, but I am dithering, but it is on my mind. And I did buy it in 2000 and end of 2007 going into 2008, and so that's when it started, and now I'm going to sell. So see how things there, you know, conclusions and being on the same page again. So again, like I said, you're dithering. You just can't decide on which way because there's just too many options. There's too much going on. You're too much in your head, emotional. So sit back, detach yourself, and just go with the priorities right now. Again, if this is with your health, you don't know where this is coming from. You're not getting the answers that you need. Perhaps you're not even getting the help that you need. Maybe the door keeps closing in your face. This card says you have to do more. You have to research more. You have to keep going and seeing those specialists. You have to keep going and seeing someone professional because you feel like you're stretched too thinly. Like I said, if this is your work affecting your health, which is affecting your duties around the home, which is affecting your children, maybe your children are getting on your nerves, stressing you out, which is affecting your job. I don't know, but that's the area. And again, this move, this transition is going to bring about that energy, which is going to bring about a brand new energy for you that you haven't felt in a long, long time. Hey, Jyoti Kumar, nice to see you. Hey, Maya. Oh, this one came straight out. So Pisces. Oh, the World card, like I mentioned before, the World card is saying things have come to a natural end. This is something you're very proud of. This is something you've put a lot of effort in. This is something that you've been working on for a while, and there is fate here. It's finally come to the end. It's finally about you moving forward, progressing on another level. Now, about your job, and even for some of you, it's your dating. There has been some humming and hurrying. There has been some hard work for a good 6 months. It was really difficult. It's like I'm trying. And if this is and I'm not seeming to get anywhere. And then all of a sudden, at the end of June, coming into July, oh my gosh, good news. And this good news may have started and I'm starting later, or the good news and I start next week. Whatever it is for you, you're finally seeing the up. Now, a Pisces also, we're looking at Mercury retrograde is looking at your technology. So for some of you, it's your car. For others, it's things with work, so I haven't been paid properly, things that went down at work, so made my work difficult, things to do with my health are back on the table again, those kinds of things as well. So there's pride in your family, there is complete satisfaction in your love, and there's okay, so with your health, something could be stressing you out, and it's time now to put that down. Now, it can be your friendships as well, because where the karma's coming up for you is in my groups. It's also my greatest hopes and dreams. Perhaps I've changed that. Maybe it's a cycle of friendships who will keep cancelling or keep letting you down. Organisations leaving that behind and starting new. For some of you, this is dating, this is projects, this is sports, this is siblings, and how that's incorporated. So if this is your project, so I'm leaving behind a group and I'm joining a new one because they've let me down and it doesn't seem to be helping me with my reputation or with my process to do with this project to be able to move forward. Sports, I'm leaving behind that team. I'm going to continue to work on that. It's part of my job. For others, this is I am online. And I have been social. I'm dating someone in my own circle, and now I've decided that this is not the place where I need to be looking at that. Now, a lot of Pisces, you are looking at dating, your fun, your social life, but something about friends and social life and networking has to be put down. Now, it might be giving you a headache. It might be making you stressed out. Some of you, with this new job or this new resurgence or this new responsibility that you're getting now for your job, you'll find that you're leaving people behind, and you're quite happy about this progress, even though, you know, it might be sad to say goodbye to your co-workers or the people that you've made friends with, because you're moving on forward. Now, again, we're looking at dating for a lot of you. And so your dating could be stressing you out. Maybe they are acting differently and you're like, I don't know why they're acting differently. Miscommunication, misconceptions, getting the wrong end of the stick, blow-ups, arguments, all those kinds of things as well. Because the fifth house is where your sun is highlighting. And Mercury's looking at your health and your job, all right through to August the 14th. So it may bounce back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and something you've had before. Okay, so that is all